Hello and welcome to Guides.Global. My name's John Howell, and with me today I have Başak Yıldız Orkun, who is a lawyer based here in Bodrum in Turkey. Başak, thank you for coming.
Hi, John.
You have written our various guides to immigration to Turkey, and they're of course all available on our website. Turkey has been a bit in the news in the last year or two over the refugee problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, Syria, absolute disaster happening there, and Turkey has received millions, literally millions, of people from Syria and given them safe haven. And then some of those people have passed through Turkey and moved on to Europe, and all sorts of consternation about that. When a country like Turkey, a huge country, and a big country with a population of, 90 million, even for a country like Turkey to receive 2 or 3 or 4 million people must be a big problem.
Yeah, it was a real problem because most of the refugees, unfortunately, they were trying to cross over to Europe. So it was so dramatic in some way, and also it caused lots of problems on our normal social life.
And of course, your immigration system is not designed to deal with 4 million people, all of who want to come at the same time.
Exactly. I think none of the countries in the world is designed for that.
No. So you've had to design a new system that will deal with this huge number of people.
Exactly. Our government just built up some special villages for the refugees, and we want to keep them in there in a safe and a healthy conditions, because who were trying to cross over, basically they were just risking their life, and so they were living in a very bad condition. So we try to keep it more.
So let's start at the beginning. Turkey is a signatory to the Geneva Convention, so you follow exactly the same rules for refugees as we do in the rest of the world.
Correct.
But in practice, because of the huge numbers involved, you've had to set up a separate system for processing these people.
Yeah, of course, because otherwise it wasn't. We weren't able to just handle all that, a number of refugees, and try to keep them in a healthy and safe place. And
so you've set up refugee villages in various places in Turkey.
Correct.
Yes, and the people who've come have been given temporary permits to permit them to live in the country.
Yeah, actually the permit is the last thing that we worry about, the refugees, because we just obviously if a person needs some safe place to just live, obviously we have to provide that, and this is what we do. The residency is basically improving the permits, or things are improving after we got the people, and we are just designing it.
Yes. But of course, in any bureaucracy, you need to have a permit, because someone's got to say, well, yes, I'm entitled to use the healthcare system, I'm entitled to use the education system, and so on.
Yeah.
Is the hope, the expectation, that when the war in Syria comes to an end, that most of these people will go back to Syria? Is that what you expect to happen?
I would just make a comment on this. Personally, I would say, obviously, I think they would love to go, because this is their own country. This is their country. So, but for that, some of the minimum life rules has to be fulfilled by their country. Yes. So I don't know. I'm not pretty sure. If they are more happy in Turkey than in Syria, obviously they will stay.
It's going to take a long time to build up the infrastructure in Syria, so that, for example, there are homes for people to live in. And so I can't imagine people are going to go back very quickly.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that quick either.
And then what will happen is that by that stage, these people will have been in Turkey for 10 or 15 or 20 years, and they'll say, well, I don't even remember Syria. I was only 1 when I came, so I would like to stay in Turkey.
Yeah, they would just adopt the culture, and to be frank, our cultures are not so different, so they would be adopted.
So, but from a legal point of view, basically, if you want to come to Turkey as a refugee, It's a Geneva Convention country, so you have to do all of the things that you would expect in a Geneva Convention country.
Correct, and we have a Department of Immigration dealing with these affairs.
And if you can organise a massive war in your own country and millions of you want to come, the Turks will give a new and simple system for you to use.
I think all countries will do that. So yeah, should do that at least.
Başak, thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
We hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like us or follow us. Look at Başak's guides to immigration to Turkey for all sorts of justifications. And do look at the book, How Things Really Work in Turkey, of which she is a co-author. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.